on this computer. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to yoga class. Okay, today for our friends, Meredith's on the line, so she's heard this already. So for those who are joining though, or we haven't chatted yet, for today's class, we are going to get into a little bit of shoulder opening, and we're going to play with rotation in the shoulder, some chest opening, and as always, some hip and pelvis stability because it's great to balance our body. So honestly, we'll get a bit of mix of everything today. Helpful things, a block. We're going to stretch our hamstrings at one point, and hamstrings tend to be tight on all of us, so always so helpful to have a block nearby. A strap for your arms today. It is not required to have a full length strap. Other things that are helpful, or even for those of us who have invested in our working out at home over the pandemic, these bands, these stretchy bands, really helpful because you can loop them around your foot if you just need a little bit of extra. If you've got longer ones, they don't even have to be fully looped. They can be like the long stretchy band. That helps too. So have your straps nearby. And that way we can grab them at any time, block towards the top of the mat. And let's get started. Welcome. We're going to start in a child's pose today. And if you like to prop yourself up, if you have props at home, feel free to put something supportive underneath, the belly, the chest. You can always grab pillows off of the couch. So with toes together, knees apart, if that's comfortable for you, you can grab something supportive for your child's pose to start. Something soft here, as long as your neck feels comfortable. Sometimes that means grabbing your block and placing it underneath the forehead so your neck is nice and long here. It's not too cramped. If you find that your prop underneath your head is cranking up your neck, just adjust it so you get length in the back of the neck. And start to let the hips settle towards the heels. And I forgot to mention, if you haven't turned on the playlist, feel free to invite some music into your space. Anything that feels like it's curating the right environment for you this morning to be here right now. Get into your practice. Couple things as you're taking a few breaths and settling into your child's pose is that if toes together, knees apart is too much stretch for the hips as early in class. You can take knees and toes together. And that way you create this little solid block underneath your torso, this solid block of support. Start to walk the fingertips out a little bit in your child's pose. Tense your fingertips. Float your arms off the mat and breathe in. Take a little stretch of the upper back and the upper shoulders here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Nice deep breath in. And a long exhale out. Last one. Inhale in. Fill up the back, the sides of your torso. And as you exhale, observe the sides and the backs of the body, just releasing. Let the arms be heavy again. Scoot this block forward. And if you've taken the restorative version where you have a prop underneath your chest or a bolster, just scoot that pillow off to the side or whatever you had. Bring your knees together, but we're going to stay low here. Elbows can come onto a block or straight onto the mat. And we're going to take an Adho Hastasana. So with elbows secured down onto the mat or a block, walk your knees back so you have an extra long tabletop spine. Your seat is in the air and you bring your head down to your block or snake it in between your elbows so your head comes down to the mat. This is a huge stretch so early in class, so be gentle with yourself. You can point that prayer pose behind you. Maybe your thumbs even start to connect with the back of your spine. Option to tuck your toes and give yourself a little stretch of the feet. Breathe in, feel the side body open up. Breathe out, release. Deep inhale in. And long exhale out. Last one, breathe it in. Exhale, release. Point your fingertips forward. Bend the elbows. Start to snake your arms back a little until you can push yourself up gently. Perhaps you feel the rush of energy back in towards your arms. And let's snake down into a Sphinx pose. So we'll come onto our belly, feet, hips with distance apart. Elbows maybe slightly in front of the shoulders. Push your forearms down. Lift up your chest and pull your chest through your arms as you're continuing to push the mat away. So we're just avoiding that sinking feeling like a little turtle finding its shell. We're gonna come up and out. So push the floor away, pull your chest forward, bring your gaze over your right shoulder. And then bring the head down. Let it pause here. Might feel like a nice stretch. Gaze over the left shoulder. Gaze comes back down. A little stretch for the neck. And then gaze forward. One more breath here. Pulling the ribs off the hips. Breathe in. And then exhale. Wing your elbows off to the side. Make a little pillow for your head and wiggle your hips side to side. Low baby cobra, so grab your or drag your fingertips back by your chest. Squeeze your elbows behind you. Inhale, lift up, roll up, gaze forward. Exhale, let it come down. Two more like that. Breathing in, little roll back. Exhale, let it come down. Inhale, long neck still. Maybe float the fingertips. Breathe it in. Exhale. Child's pose one more time. This time make it really comfortable and lazy. Maybe you bring toes and knees together to support the low back. Let those hips come towards the heels. Release the eyes, release the teeth, the jaw. The cheeks are full here. Let the belly be soft. And let go of any clenching in the body. Sometimes we clench around the hips and the low back. See if you can send a breath there. And one way to figure out if you're clenching is to actually clench your entire body and then release it. Finding a little bit of relaxation here. Invite yourself to let go of the to-do list, let go of the weekend list, let go of whatever was on any list from this past week or what's up ahead. Invite yourself to be bold, be just right here for the next hour. And the way to do that is to focus on your breath, to become absolutely fascinated by how you feel with each inhale and exhale as you move through your postures. Do what feels right for your body, what feels good for you. Notice if you're holding your breath back off, if you feel a sensation that's uncomfortable, point to pain, back off a little, go easier. If you feel like you have more to give, know that you'll probably surprise yourself, go a little deeper. Focus on the breath a little bit more, see if that helps you access new places. Let's start to walk our hands over to the right side. Side body stretch, anchor down that left hip as you walk your fingertips over to the right. Maybe even stacking left fingertips on top of right for that added touch. We're going to get a little bit of everything in our practice today. Let's walk our hands over to the left side, maybe even stacking right palm on top of left as you anchor down the right hip. Have like a nice little buffet, cornucopia filled with an abundance of offerings today in class. A little bit of light twisting for the season, for the spring season, a little bit of heart opening. Chest opening because modern yogis need it because we're hunched over, and a little bit of stability in the hips and glutes because it feels good. Let's come back through center, come up to all fours, take our cat-cow, inhale, open up. As your heart shines forward, think about how you want to dedicate your class today. Exhale, cat pose, puff up the back. Inhale, open up. Let the heart start to dictate your dedication. Is it to yourself? Just a moment of gratitude, a little dedication focused on the notion of thanks. Thanks for showing up, for spending time for yourself and your body. Start linking your breath to movement. Inhale, opening up, stretching. Exhale, push the mat away. You can let this be as big, as intuitive as you want. Maybe you want to take hip rolls here, letting the tailbone point up and then curl it down and around like you're tracing an oval shape or a circle shape with your tailbone. You can gaze over one shoulder and get a little side body crunch here, which might feel like a nice stretch for the opposite side. You can even take this from a child's pose, curling through cat, opening through cow, coming over the shoulders a little bit and then back down to get some rotation in the shoulders or just some rocking motions. A couple more breaths. Start to do what feels good and to explore. Listening to your body. What do you need right now? Our body is usually shouting at us what it needs, but sometimes it is a little soft. It's like a little soft spoken. Hey, 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 I need this. I need this. So our yoga practice is a great way to tune into that. Breathe into whatever kind of dedication you want to make to this class today. Make it yours. Maybe you're just dedicating the effort to someone you love. We love love. It is my first year anniversary of marriage. Whoop, whoop. So that's the heart opening. That's the loving love. Really wasn't as bad as I thought. Just kidding. It was actually wonderful. So apparently I picked right for now. All right, yogis. Let's start to tuck our tailbone. Come into a plank pose for just a little bit. You've got this, you're strong. You can leave the knees down if you need, right? Lots of options for building our strength. Stretch your heels behind you. Push the mat away. Drop the hips just a smidge if they're really high up. And then let's rock forward, shoulders over fingertips. Feel those abs engage and then exhale, reach the heels behind you. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, reach heels behind you. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, reach heels behind you. Let's take it into our down dog stretch. Adjust your feet. Maybe you're pedaling your feet out here, bending the knees, tipping the tailbone high to the sky. Push the pads of the fingertips, the base of the knuckles down into the ground. And then think of turning the crease of the elbows out to the side. Like both of your inside elbows are trying to spiral forward. And then you let your shoulders come away from your ears. Let the sensation of gravity pull the belly up and in. And then start to mentally think of how the legs are taking on the bulk of the work. I know it doesn't always feel that way. Nice work. We're going to take a slow walk to the top of the mat. If your strap is nearby, maybe you grab it on your walk all the way up to the mat, grabbing for your strap or a band. Hang heavy. Let the weight come into the toes and then into the heels. Maybe you're taking a ragdoll here, grabbing for opposite shoulders. Bend the knees and then slowly start to roll up. Be mindful of your blood pressure, being careful. Ooh, let the house of your pelvis stack underneath you, reaching for your strap. Give it a nice little shoulder width or more, and a very light touch here as you grasp it. Reach the strap up and then let it come behind you. You might notice your palms sliding a little bit to make way for that stretch. Bringing the strap forward and behind you. Inhale as you open up and pause for a little. Exhale, inhale as you open it up. Exhaling down, one more. Inhale, open up and exhaling. Next time you come up, stay, root down through the feet and bring that strap out to the right side. Let your hip extend out to the left, but we're trying to stay in a nice kind of, we're not tipping forward and we're not tipping back. That's what I'm trying to say. We're staying in the same plane a little bit. We're just arcing over. Inhale, lift up, and then take the other side. Cool. Let the feet really help you anchor down here and trust the stretch. This is a little bit harder standing up than sitting down, right? So inhale, lift up, up, up. Let's take either side one more time, or both sides, reaching over to the right. What's nice about taking the standing is you have a little more control in the arms here, playing with push-pulling. Inhale, come up. Exhale, other side. Anchoring the feet down. Feeling the stretch from the hip all the way through fingertips. Nice. Now take this strap, reach it high up one more time, and then you're going to start to drop your right hand behind you. So you've got a nice strap just stretching behind you. Left hand is holding it, right arm is underneath. Now start to bend your right elbow and then bend your left elbow. Suddenly your strap gets really slacky, right? So drop the bottom half of the strap and then re-bend your right elbow and see if you can start to snake your fingertips towards each other using the strap. So we're just taking that bind behind your back, but playing with the strap a little bit. What I like here is the tendency is we open up the back, right? So pull the ribs in, drop the tailbone down, pull the belly in, and then lean your head back into that left arm. It'll stretch it real good. Next. And then bring this left hand down, back behind you, right arm, grab the strap in a way that's comfortable, and we'll take the other side. So right arm is up high, and left arm is down below, loose grip on the strap. You're gonna start to bend the left elbow. Maybe you take your fingertips and slowly walk up for your left arm bind, and then bend the right elbow. Do the same, start to walk the strap. Make any adjustments you need. So you have your bind now on the other side with the strap. And pull those ribs in. Drop the tailbone, pull the belly in. And then lean the head back. It's kind of nice to stand and stretch, right? We do this seated a lot. Nice work. Lean the head back one more time. Beautiful stretching. Let that strap go. Place it kind of off to the side, maybe 2 feet down in front of the top of the mat. This time, inhale, roll up, reach up, gaze up, breathe in, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Stay down. We're going to flow just a little bit in our forward fold. Bring the weight a little bit more in the heels. Bend the knees ever so slightly, fingertips to shin. Unfurl your back so this nice long spine, gaze forward. Exhale, let yourself bow. Slow inhale, unfurl. Use your fingertips as support on your shins if you want. If you want to drop the hands, you can. Couple of flows here, opening up our hamstrings. Playing with the spine in a flat back. One more. Next time you come down and you bow, plant your fingertips down, step it back, plank pose. Let's come onto our bellies, maybe knees down, maybe shift shoulders over fingertips, pull the belly in, point your elbows behind you. Inhale, low baby cobra, breathe it in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice work. Amazing work. Let's reach our right leg high to the sky, down dog split, bend the knee, open the hip up, lift the knee a little bit higher, push the heel back behind you a little bit more, and then square off the shoulders, maybe adjust the weight so there's a little more in your right palm than was before. Straighten that right leg out, pull the knee forward and through, right foot in between your hands, back knee down. Anjaneyasana, we lift up, breathe it in. And then let's take that bind, bend your right elbow so it's behind your head. Left hand comes either to your back, grabbing for your t-shirt, grabbing for your fingertips. Maybe you want to use your strap like we did at the top of class. Inhale, come up a little bit, squeeze inner thighs, drop the tailbone. Exhale, come forward a little bit. Inhale, let's find more of that 90-degree in the legs. Drop the right hip down, drop the pelvis, squeeze the belly, and then exhale, come forward. Last one, inhale, come up a little bit, squeezing on your thighs, squaring off hips, come forward, plant the palms down, maybe grabbing your block, square off the hips, scoot the hips back, half Hanuma, so runners lunge here, toes are high towards the sky. Squaring off hips. If you've got the block, perhaps you walk both palms to the right side. Oh, yeah, huge IT band stretch. Blocks are our friend here. Flexing the toes up and back will help deepen that stretch. Rebend the front knee. Bring your block with you and your palms. Open up the chest. Breathe in here. Exhale, push yourself back to that half Hanuma. Maybe walk your block back. If you've got two blocks, it's even easier to kind of walk with your blocks for an open chest as you come forward. And as you exhale, you come back. Let's take one more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, flex the toes, square off the hips. Take your bow. One more, inhale, come forward, tuck the back toe, take your twist, left palm down, right arm up, dubbed the greatest stretch of all time by a lot of trainers. Yogis know this. Give yourself some rocks and rolls, or more like a windmill, really, with the arm. Give it some nice big circles here and then reverse the circle. Yeah, well done, nice work. Back knee down one more time. Inhale, come up, left arm forward, right arm back. You're gazing over the right side of the mat. Open twist here, breathe it in. Maybe left hand to the block and you start to grab for your quad behind you by picking up the toes. This is where a strap that's looped or your big strap will help. I love a good stretchy band for this. Looping it around my foot. Your right knee can stay up, squeezing inner thighs together so you pull your belly in. That'll give you a little rotation in the chest as you pull your heel closer towards your glute. If you've got the foot, grab for the outside of the foot and let the shoulder open up. Oh, all right, let that go. Strap comes down. And we take our vinyasa. You are conveniently near all fours, so just scoot that right leg back. And then you choose perhaps knees, chest, and chin for this. Rolling the shoulders back, feet release, inhale, low baby cobra, shoulders roll back. Exhale, tuck the toes, strengthen the quads, pull the belly in, push up. You can use your knees, and then we find our downward facing dog. Nice work. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no thanks. Find stillness in your down dog. Maybe close your eyes, breathe in. And breathe out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Last one. Filling up side body, back body. Fill those lungs up and then release them. Left leg lifts high towards that sky bend. The knee, open up the hip. Lift the knee up a little higher. Push the heel back a little further. And then take a gander at the shoulders, right? A mental gander. Perhaps you need to shift just a little more weight into the left palm here. I know generally we all do when we take this pose. Squaring off those hips. The left leg will come down a little bit and pull the knee in towards the chest, and then the left foot comes forward and through. Back knee down, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, we lift up. This time, left arm bends to support our head and right arm behind us. Perhaps you take the strap here. Perhaps you use your band. Perhaps you're grabbing onto your t-shirt or your tank top. Sometimes that's just easier. Pull the belly in just a little bit. Inhale, come up, squeeze inner thighs and square them off. Usually kind of one hip is jutting out to the side. Can you square off those hips? And then inhale, come forward. Exhale, squeeze everything together as you come up a little bit more. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, drop the hips, square them off, squeeze inner thighs. Last one, breathe it in. Nice work. Perhaps you grab your block. If it's nearby and you know you want it, take your half Hanukkah. Heel down, toes up, scoot the hips back. Breathe in, long hold here to start before we flow it. Maybe walk over to the left side, take a big IT band stretch. The more your toes point up, the more intense this stretch. So you can let your ankle and toes be a little slack if you need the slack. Blocks are so helpful here. And let's take that flow. So rebend the knee, chest is bright as it comes forward. Open up the shoulders, roll them back. Exhale, walk yourself back, toe up, hips squared off, half Hanukkah. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, bring it back, toes up. Inhale, chest forward, shoulders down, gaze forward. Exhale, little bow here, toes up, hips square. Stretching that hamstring. Let's take two more. Inhaling as you come forward, exhaling as you come back. Next time we come forward, tuck that back toe. Take your low lunge here, adjust yourself. And then left arm up, take your shoulder rotations. Pull this left hip back if you want. The hips are even and buoyant, so sometimes that means bringing the right hip up a little bit. Left hip back. There's no reason why we can't use our hands also to kind of figure out the plane our body is in. If you're taking one side, make sure you rotate your shoulder to the other side for our greatest stretch. And then back knee comes back down, right arm forward, open twist. You're gazing off to the left side. Ooh. Stretch it out, yummy. One more gaze here towards the back thumb. Right palm down, perhaps on a block. This left arm is conveniently behind you to grab for the foot. Great strap moment here. Straps have never had a better moment. Pulling the heel towards your seat. And if you're not using the strap, grab for the outside blade of the foot so you can let the shoulder rotate open a little bit here. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Another deep breath in and deep breath out. Last one, breathing in and breathing out. Release the foot. We will flow any way we like. Maybe knees, chest, chin, because these are already down. Chest and chin come down and give you that extra back bend. Release the feet. Inhale, roll it up. Gaze forward, shoulders back. Inhale here and exhale. Deep inhale in and exhale. Maybe for the third one, you wing your arms back behind you, like you're pushing up, pushing invisible heavy air, and then float the feet. Can you pull yourself forward just a little bit if you need so you get that really beautiful boat shape? Breathing in and breathing out. Palms come down, child's pose or down dog, you decide. Reasons why I think my first year of marriage was successful. Separate bathrooms. Moving during the all-time low of the pandemic when they were giving away apartments so we could afford separate bathrooms. Honest to God, it is the biggest secret, isn't it? To a healthy relationship with roommates, family, spouses, with partners, even pets. All right. Perhaps we're ready to move on. I hope, maybe. Okay. We're gonna come forward into a plank pose. Roll yourself forward. Bring your left knee down. Spiral yourself open to a modified plank. Option to stay here. We're gonna float the right foot up and then tap it down. Float it up, tap it down. And see if you have any pointed pain here. You take it much smaller. You take more like these little toe taps, right? Option, you're feeling spicy, you can do this from full plank, lifting the right leg up and then down. Those obliques are gonna immediately turn on. Side body seat immediately turning on. Maybe you reach overhead, challenge your balance. We're taking anywhere between 4 and 6, whatever feels good. You'll know when you'll want to stop. Whew. Knee down, stretch it open. Even reach the right arm back behind you a little bit. Square off the chest. Come forward. Down dog split, left leg lifts up and high behind you. I know this is gonna freak us out because now we're gonna do our flow on the other side. What an upside down world today. Bring that left knee forward and through in between your hands. High lunge, here we come. Aha. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Ah. I know, wild, starting with the left side. Tip it back, peaceful warrior. Have some fun. Breathe into the side body. Straighten the front leg, so reverse triangle here. Nice work, breathe it in and breathe it out. Let's come up to a nice X shape, point both feet off to the right side of the mat, tip it forward, take a bow. Reverse prayer pose behind us if that feels good. You can reach for the opposite palm. You can reach for your t-shirt. If you've got this below the back, maybe you walk those fingertips up towards the back in between the shoulder blades. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Last deep inhale in and exhale. From here, drop the arms. Let's walk it forward. Supported warrior three. Fingertips come down, hips are squared, shoulders are squared. You're just floating the left foot back, right foot back behind you. And then let's take a little bit of a kind of a squat flow focus here. Bring your right knee, bend the knee. Let it tap behind the left knee and left calf. So both knees are bent as you come in. Open up, breathe in, reach everything back, supported warrior three. So now we flow. Knee to knee, little bend. It's almost like a squat. And then exhale, open it up, square off those hips, pull the belly in. Knee to knee. And then reach this right leg long. Knee to knee. Reach this right leg long. You can make this as small of a bend of the knee or as deep of a bend. Be kind to your knees here. A lot of weight on them, right? So be gentle. All right, bring both feet together, chair pose, Utkatasana, seat low, chest bright, arms high, breathe it in, sit a little bit lower, weight is in your heels. Pull the belly in so the tail will tuck, just this micro amount, so the belly can be in. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Another deep breath in and deep breath out. Last one, breathe it in and breathe it out. All right, come low. Go as low as you can with your arms out in front of you. Maybe at some point though, your ankles are tight, your heels are tight, you need to bring your palms down. We're coming down onto our seat. So bring yourself there gently, boat pose. Open up the chest, the arms are reaching forward. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Two more. You can straighten the legs. You can support yourself with your fingertips. Dial up the spicy, dial it down. Here comes a dial up spicy moment. We come down to our half hollow body hold, reaching your arms forward, toes pointing forward, belly button to spine. Breathe it in, breathe it out. On your next inhale, can you come back up to boat? Maybe a little momentum helps. Palms down, feet down, reverse tabletop, head back. Oh, deep breath here. Fingertips can point forward underneath Your palms and shoulders are pretty much stacked here as best as you can. And then bring that seat down one more time. Low, hollow body hold. I know. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Last one. And bend the knees. Give yourself a rock and roll as much as you can to have a little momentum to come back up to chair pose. Aha! That's the worst, isn't it? Surprise! Surprise! We're gonna do that only one more time so you have the blueprint now. Forward fold, release that. Inhale, come to a flat back, gaze forward. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back, plank pose. However you want to flow through. Knees, chest, chin, low baby cobra. We haven't done a chaturanga yet. Great moment for chaturanga. Pull the chest through. Your quads are off the mat in your upward facing dog. We meet in down dog. Take your time with those. Sometimes in classes, we really rip through our vinyasas, right? It's such a nice opportunity to stretch, to breathe. And when you hold those poses, you're engaging your muscles, you're building strength, right? It's not easier to whip yourself through them faster. Slow and controlled. Sometimes in yoga means much more effort, much more concerted effort, more opportunity to understand our body. All right, take a child's pose if you need it. Perhaps you need a sip of water. I know I do too. Water that just happens to be caffeinated coffee. Oh, that must be breaking some ancient yogi rules, but we are modern day yogis, right? You're taking 5 days. Oh my gosh, 5 days of rest. I wish 5 breaths of rest. You can be in a child's pose. You can be down regulating in your downward facing dog. Let the heart rate come down. That was a lot. We've got the other side, but you kind of know the blueprint a little bit, right? And I'm here to guide us. All right, let's all make our way to down dog if you're not there already. Once you're in your down dog, push down the pads at the fingertips. Roll the shoulders back behind you. Maybe tip the tailbone high towards the sky. A little light bend to the knees. Always so helpful so that we get this huge stretch in the upper body. And then you let your heels descend to the ground. Roll forward. Tuck the tailbone underneath you. You'll notice your back puffing out like cat pose. Slow roll to our plank pose. Right knee down, toes off the mat for balance. Take your modified side plank. Here, you get to choose again. We're lifting the left heel up high towards the sky. Keep the belly in. Keep the hips underneath you stable. The only thing moving is your leg. Maybe smaller toe taps, like little rainbows behind you is better for you. You choose. Maybe you really came with extra energy today and you want to take this from your plank pose. We have 4 to 6 more lifts. You decide how big they are. You get to decide what feels good for you always. All right, then we square off everything. Down dog split. Bring that right leg high to the sky. Now we pull that knee in towards our chest and right foot is forward. High lunge, here we come. Oh, breathe it in. Breathe it out. Open it up, warrior 2. Never have I ever been so happy to see warrior 2. Deep bend in the front knee. Hips are even here. You can use your palm trick if you need, placing palms on the hips. See as your fingertips wrap if they are even. Tip it back, peaceful warrior. The only thing that shifts here is the upper torso. And then we straighten our front leg. Reverse triangle here. Now let's bring everything up into this really satisfying X shape as we point our toes off to the left side of the mat and take a bow, forward fold. Taking our reverse prayer position, option. If you played with prayer before and it's not for you, just drop the arms. Drop the arms so they're in a forward fold, maybe grab for the ankles. So you have a nice wider grasp here. All right. One more breath here. Bring your weight back into the heels a little bit. Let the toes wiggle. And then push evenly into toes. Big toe, little toe, big toe, your heels. Bring the palms down. You're going to walk yourself forward for that supported warrior three. So fingertips are tented. A block may be helpful here. You can bring yourself up on your block with your fingertips tented. Squaring off our hips. So we're rolling the left hip down, pointing our toes down towards the mat. Let's take our squatted flows. So bending that right knee, left knee comes behind it to meet, maybe knee tap shin or behind the knee, and then reach it out. Bend. Inhale, open up. Exhale. Inhale, open up. Maybe a deep open mouth exhale feels really satisfying here for some reason, right? Knee to knee. Open it up. Someone said these are called Kundalini squats. We don't do a ton of Kundalini stuff in my class, but I do love a good squat. So here we are. Okay. All right, now bringing both feet together, chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight is in your heels. Bring your seat low, open up. Oh, nice work. This class is a lot of work, I know. You're doing great. Tuck the tailbone up a little so you can open up your chest. We're gonna do that crazy low boat flow one more time. Bring the seat low. Bring your palms in front or behind you to help you get to your seat. And we find ourselves in that high boat position. Opening up the chest here. Then coming down low, hands in prayer, hollow body, hold, low boat pose. And then coming back up, you can use the sides of your thighs here to help you come back up. Plant feet down, palms back behind you, fingertips toward reverse tabletop. Let your head hang behind you if that's comfortable. Maybe even stick out your tongue for lion's breath. Make huge noise. Bring the seat low, tap it down. Inhale, lift up, reverse tabletop. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Exhale as your seat comes down. Inhale as you open up. Exhale as the seat comes down. Inhale as you open up. Exhale, seat comes down. From here, rock and roll. Giving yourself a little momentum if it feels good. So come back up to your chair pose, Utkatasana. Oh, I know. Nice roll. Yes, you've got it. Chair pose just for a breath because we're so strong. Breathe it in and breathe it out, forward fold. Okay, yogis, we're going to take a break here. This is our time for stretching. This is our time for playing. So you're very primed right now for a crow pose. You're also very primed for a rest. So listen to your body. If you are taking more of a restorative approach right now, a supported Malasana might feel good. Toes pointing out, heels in, block underneath your seat, dropping your tailbone, nice lifted, elevated spine, elbows pushing out the inner thighs, hands in prayer. Stay here for 5 to 8 breaths, working on dropping the tailbone, working on rolling open the chest. Yeah, that's so nice. Nice, Meredith. Gorgeous. If you are taking your crow pose, you want to use your block. 2 ways to use your block. Underneath your feet to gain a little elevation here. So you have your heels together, toes apart like a ballerina almost. Your knees are separated. Bend your knees as much as you need for your palms to come down. Gaze forward, puff up the back, push the mat away, Your knees squeeze the outsides of your biceps, and maybe you lift a toe off the block and then the other block, or the other toe, or both. Other way to use the block, you stack it and your forehead will go on top of it. So same theory, heels together, toes apart, bend the knees as much as you need to get into this like froggy pose as your knees are bending outwards and away. You place the palm down, you touch your head to the block, see how it feels. Does it feel crunched up? Walk a half a centimeter back. Your knees come on top of the biceps on this little shelf, and maybe you lift a toe and then another toe. That'll help you get comfortable enough just to lift the toes and not feel nervous about falling forward. All right, another breath, whatever you're working. Whew, I know I'm out of breath from that. I'm going to take a quick Malasana. Join you all, breathing in and breathing out. Another couple seconds to wrap up what you're playing with or where you're stretching. And we'll all meet in a Malasana squat. So give yourself a moment to get there, a moment to bring the seat down, the chest high, roll the shoulders back. We plant the palms, we lift the seat up, and then we heel toe back to parallel. Option, you want to take a vinyasa here, please do. Option, you bow and take a forward fold for 3 breaths. We're all going to meet in this standing position at the top of our mat. So you get to choose how you want to get there. If you are bowing, bend the knees, roll yourself up slowly, grab your strap, so when you roll up, you've got it. Oh, feels good to stand up, right? Good. We're going to take the strap, and we are actually, hold it in your left hand to start. We're going to do this pose twice. So, dancer's pose, one without a strap, one with a strap. So, anchored down your left foot. You start to bend your right knee. Bring your right palm out to the side like you're gonna serve someone a really beautiful tray of delicious snacks. And then you bend your toe behind you, grab for the outside of the foot. And you can take the strap if it's bothering you, flip it around your shoulder, whatever, get it out of the way. You can still hold on to it, doesn't matter. Get a little creative. Bring both knees back together. So you're squeezing your inner thighs, and then kick into your hand. Open up the shoulder as you come into your dancer's pose. We keep the chest high. Then, once you've gone as far as you'd like to go, you can tip the chest forward a little bit, maybe about 10 degrees, maybe 15 degrees. Breathe here. Gaze at something that's not moving. That's your drishti. Maybe you slouch to the toes like a flex and a point, like a Barbie foot behind you. If you fall out, that's amazing. That means you're pushing your boundaries. You're finding your edge. And then we stand it back up, bringing knee to knee. Pelvis comes forward, drops underneath you. And then step it back down, shake it out. Whew. All right. Same side, slightly different story. We're going to use the strap. So from here, grab a long grasp on that strap so you can step with your arch of your foot in the middle of the strap. Place both ends in your right foot. Keep a little bit of tension on it as you bend your knee and you point your toe behind you. So let's find our balance first. Root down the left leg. Left hand can come to your hip to start for a little bit of balance. And then bring your knees together, point your toe behind you. Start to pull the strap like you're going to sling a backpack over your shoulder. And then tip your torso forward a little bit, reach your left arm out. If you'd like to take this further, you reach both hands up. Maybe you grasp with elbows pointing up high towards the sky. You start to walk your palms down the strap, playing with your balance. Woo. Falling out to figuring it out. You can tip your torso forward, just a little bit, but we're working on a huge stretch in the back and in the quad here. Take another deep inhale in, and then let that go. Nice work. Shake it out. Your left leg was probably barking at you, right? We'll take the other side. So, strap over the other shoulder just to get out of the way to start. You're serving your platter with your left arm out to the side. Root down through the right side before you bring knee to knee and point your toe behind you. Then you can start to grab for the outside blade of the foot. Reseal knees together. So you're all in one kind of tight line. And then you kick hand into heel, heel into hand. Stay up with your torso for a bit. Micro bend in the standing leg. And then you reach your right arm out. Tip the torso forward, maybe just a little bit. 10 degrees, 15 degrees. Do what feels good. A smaller range of motion for me, as I've been rehabbing some back injuries, is the better choice for me. I used to love really opening up here, but I pay for it later. Bring everything in, shake it out. So know that our practice changes, right? Sometimes we have bigger shapes, sometimes we have smaller shapes. It doesn't matter, it's all about what it makes sense for our body at that day, that given time. Okay, take your strap. Find your breath, take a beat, and then step on top of the strap with the strap in your inner heel and arch connecting. Wing that left shoulder out to the side like you're gonna serve that tray again. And now we anchor down through the right side. Lift and spread the toes, let them come back down. Push down and root. When people say root down, I think what they mean is they mean push, activate, while you pull the belly up. And then you start to bend your elbow, point your toe, find a little bit of balance here. Loop this left elbow high to the sky. So you're pointing your elbow nice and high, like we did Anjaneyasana at the start of class. And then you start to slowly walk. Maybe you bring your right arm to meet, and you're grabbing onto the tippity top of the strap. Maybe you're taking a slight bend in the standing leg, and you're walking your palms back behind you as your elbows point up. It's almost like you're squeezing your ears with your biceps. Play. Maybe a little slight torso dip feels good. If you feel like you're gonna fall out, just release the strap entirely, let it fall to the ground, and then come out of it, shake it out. Oh, amazing work, yogis. Strap work is hard. Place that off to the side. Inhale, reach up high to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, bow. We're gonna take one last vinyasa. Inhale, come to a flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, plank pose. Vinyasa of choice. And then we meet in a seated position, so you can rock your feet back towards your heels and swing your feet around. Ooh, amazing work, everyone. Let's take a forward fold. Options. Straight leg forward fold, toes up. You are seated, rolling your shoulders back, Dandasana or staff pose. You can take a pillow or roll up the back of your mat to give you a little elevation here. The elevation will kind of help your pelvis tip forward. So when we bow, we're not crunching the lower back as much. If this is not for you, many days, a straight leg forward fold is no longer for me. Take your butterfly shape. Sometimes the bend in the knees helps access the pelvis so you can pull it forward as you grab the ankles and pull the chest forward, and then you bow. It is less hamstring, but you're getting a stretch in the back and you're getting a great stretch in the glutes. Drop the head. Let the head bow. Inhale, lift up. Take one more bow if you want to switch, if you want to try straight leg or soles of the feet together, knees apart. This is your chance to play between the shapes, or maybe just elongate that original shape you took for a few more breaths. Honoring where we are. Remember the days I used to, look at my face to the ground in this shape, and it is just not right for my body anymore to do that, right? So it's hard to adjust our practices as we need, as our bodies change, because we hold on to what it felt like, what it looked like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But that's the beauty of yoga. It teaches us to be balanced. It teaches us to be here and now. And it teaches us to do what feels good. It's not about what it looks like, it's what it feels like. The shapes are there to serve us. We do not serve the shapes. Bend your knees, scoot your hips forward a little bit. Move some props off to the side, accept your block, grab your block. Let's curl ourselves down kind of Pilates style. So if you have a block, especially if it's a light one, okay, if it's heavy, you just want to place it off to the side. Reach the block out in front of you with your knees together, toes and together as well, and ankles. Put your toes up, but then curl yourself back. So you're reaching forward, but you're curling belly button to spine and curling that tailbone underneath you. And then let yourself roll down slowly. Nice work. Bridge pose. Feet down, touching the ankles, the backs of the heels with your fingertips. Ankles and feet are about hips width distance apart. Roll yourself up to start with your palms flat on the mat. Push the mat away with your palms. Engage your triceps. Lift your hips up, but keep belly button to spine here. From here, perhaps you bring one knee into your chest, your right knee, and then stretch that leg out high. Bring knee to match as you point your long leg forward and then bring it up to the sky. Knee to knee, reaching your toe forward and then reach your toe to the sky. Toe forward, knee to his knee, kind of hovers here, and then toe up to the sky. Bend the knee in towards the chest and down. Let's take the other side. Bringing your left knee in towards your chest and then your left toe high to the sky. Squeeze inner thighs together. And then reach the left leg away, point your toe away from you till your knees are matched, and then kick that toe up high towards the sky. Knee to knee, toe to the sky, knee to knee, toe to the sky, knee to knee, toe to the sky. You've got it. Bend the knee in, both feet down, and then roll down upper, middle, and then low back. Cup the knees, give them a little rock and roll around in one direction. Ooh, and then the other direction. Nice work, everyone. Now we can take bridge of choice. Restorative block underneath the low sacrum, lifting the hips up, placing the block on whatever height you would like to that fused spot at the base of the spine, a nice flat spot. Perhaps you are interlacing your fingertips underneath you, pushing your biceps, forearms, and palms into the mat, and then lifting your hips high. Squeeze inner thighs together. Drive the heels into the mat. And then open it up, roll down upper, middle, and low back. Give yourself a loose drive here, rocking around in one direction and then the other. Beautiful work, yogis. Let's take a figure four. If you want to take a long pigeon here, this is a nice opportunity for a pigeon. Options 2, place a block underneath the left foot as you cross right ankle over left knee. The block will just bring a little restorative element to this. And I'm certainly fussing with my block a little. And then from here, if your foot's on the block, just gently push out the right thigh so you open up the knee a little bit. Knee issues, go very gently here, tread lightly. Flex the toe. We're gonna take 6 to 8 breaths. So again, amazing opportunity to take a pigeon pose here instead if you'd like to go a little deeper. If you're taking your figure 4 and you want to slide this so knees stack and then you reach for opposite shins or feet and let the elbows hang down. Elongate the spine on the mat. That will tell you where your palms need to go if you need to walk them up towards your calves. That will help if your spine is popping off the mat. And you can drive those legs down as you pull your elbows apart. There are a few breaths here. Giving our glutes a really good stretch. And then we will switch. Pigeon, take the other side. Figure 4, take the other side. Block comes underneath the right foot. Optional to have a block there. And then left ankle over right knee. Push the thigh out. Staying here is a great option if you're in your figure 4 or stacking knee on top of knee, reaching for outside blades of feet or shins. Mindful the spine isn't popping off the mat. We're going for a long spine here. Yogi's choice for last pose, half happy baby, full happy baby, a twist. If you're taking half happy baby or a twist, take both sides. Got plenty of time for a twist on both sides. You've got a happy baby, perhaps you rock side to side. Your obliques did a lot of work for you today, particularly in those modified side planks. So give them a little massage, rocking side to side. And then when you're ready, you can bring everything into a little ball. Know if it's right for you to squeeze yourself or if it's better to keep your spine long. And then we'll find our final resting pose of choice, Shavasana. Perhaps legs up the wall or up a chair or couch. Using props underneath the knees in your Shavasana might feel really nice on your back. Take up some space, spread the arms wide. Take a nice deep inhale and thinking almost as though you have these straws from toes all the way through the crown of the head. And as you inhale, you're pulling that air up through the toes, through the legs, through the chest, down and around fingertips, up through the neck and crown of the head. And then as you exhale, it's like a cleansing push out, circulating down your arms, down fingertips, back up and around and down through torso, hips, legs, toes. Breathing in like this flush. Breathing out. Exhale. Letting go and release. Perhaps there's one thing you want to flush out a little. Away. Perhaps it's a thought. You're not even sure what it is, but you know there's a bit of a block. Maybe you visualize a barrier, very literal barrier, block, big rock. You breathe them in, and as you exhale, you release that barrier. You release that thought, that thing that happened this week. Where it isn't helpful to dwell anymore. You've already analyzed it. But it's time to let it go. Let it go. Exhale it out the body. Like a thought in a bubble, like a rock in a bubble, and exhale it out. In your next inhale, you come back to that dedication at the top of class. Where that feeling of gratitude, of dedication to yourself or someone else, and breathe that in. Making more space for that. If you want to take a few more minutes of rest here on your back, please do. The thing about a home practice is there's no next class coming in. If you have another 5 to 10 minutes, just be here. Let the body feel open. Acknowledging your efforts. Time here on mats. Maybe playing with a small meditation or a gentle breathing exercise. Carving out a little extra you time. If you're ready, you can pull the knees closer towards the chest, roll over onto the right side, aware of any props in your way. Pushing yourself up towards a comfortable seat. Bring your hands in your lap. Take a little head, neck, and shoulder roll. Finishing off class here with a last little stretch of the neck. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and then let them glide back down. Taking a moment to acknowledge the light in you, the effort in you, all that makes you unique. We bow with grateful thoughts, good feelings. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Thanks for joining. Have some water, have a delicious snack or brunch. And for those who are watching a video, see you soon, and thank you. I'm going to stop recording.